You're in a documentary that I found last week, and I really was fascinated by what you brought to the documentary. The documentary is called The Creepy Line. It's not out yet, but it's coming out soon, thecreepyline.com. And you're a guy who was a Hillary supporter, and you decided to see if Google was being fair with their news. Is that correct? During the last
with their
search
results.
And what did you find?
Well, I had already found years before that. I'd been studying search results, and I had already found that when search results favor one candidate or one cause, for that matter, that shifts opinions and it shifts votes, and I mean dramatically so. It can shift voting preferences among undecided voters by 20% or more easily, and by up to 80% in some demographic groups.
Okay, so wait.
Found.
Explain how that works.
Sure. Well, we're bombarded, as you know, by all kinds of information, all kinds of media sources. People ranting and raving on the radio and television and newspapers and magazines. Mm-hmm. All that stuff is competitive, and people are very wary about it. You know, their bias detectors are kind of always working. Even when they listen to their favorite commentator, they're still kind of, you see the human hand, and everyone knows humans are kind of all right.
And it's helpful
when people are of course. But when people are using, it turns out, my research shows, other research shows, when people are using something like a Google search engine, they turn off the bias detectors. They automatically become very trusting because they think this is an algorithm, not that they know what an algorithm is, but this is an algorithm and I can trust it because it's objective and impartial. So that when Google answers your question about anything, what tends to happen is that people trust what's higher up in the list. They think that the algorithm has very carefully and objectively selected it, and it must be true. So if you favor one candidate or one cause or one company or whatever it may be, one product, in search results, people tend to believe what's ever closest to the top. And what I showed in a series of randomized controlled experiments that we've now done with 4 national elections involving more than 10,000 people, I've shown over and over and over and over again that by favoring one candidate, you can shift, in a country like ours, millions of votes with no one having the slightest idea that they are being manipulated, and without leaving a paper trail for authorities to track. So that is scary.
It is. You lay this out in the creepy line about how Google has really stripped itself of all ads and everything else, so it looks totally clean and neutral and without an agenda. And then how they have, when you first did it, I think one of the tests you did it where you were clear with an agenda. Then you added one that might go in the other direction, and then you added 2 search results that would go in the other direction. And you got it to a point to where Google is, to where you don't have any idea you're being manipulated.
Correct. You have absolutely no idea. So when we did this in a national study in the U.S., almost no one was aware that they were seeing biased or search results that favor one candidate. This really creepy thing there was that the very, very few people who could spot the bias, they shifted even farther in the direction of the bias. So, being able to spot the bias does not protect you. We did a big national study in India right in the middle of their election there in 2014. 99.5% of people in the study could see no bias whatsoever. They couldn't see the favoritism. And yet we're still getting these big shifts in their voting preferences. So, this is unprecedented in human history. This is an ability to shift people's thinking and behavior worldwide. It's not just in the U.S. because Google is used for 90% of all searches conducted throughout the world. And in other words, they have the ability to shift people's thinking, behavior, votes, purchases, attitudes, beliefs around the world. They are doing so 24/7 without people knowing and without leaving a paper trail. Because when you're showing someone's search results, that's not like a news story that just stays there for people to look at. It's generated just for you on the fly at that moment, disappears, gone forever, stored nowhere.